Right here. Both.
Oh, I
Lancer
got
and Ronan.
murdered.
Right here. They're together. They ran back in to the plant site.
The resin.
Right here in front of me.
I gotta revive.
They're moving in.
I got Lancer. Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
boy.
Let's go.
What is going on, everyone? Griffin here, coming at you with some Sigrid gameplay, and today we're going to be talking about Sigrid. Is she balanced after the nerf that came in the Revelation hotfix? So let's head over and check it out. So in the Revelation update, Sigrid got a pretty substantial nerf in that update. So basically the ballistic shield cooldown was increased to 45 seconds from 35 seconds. And I know when I did my video about the initial coverage of the Revelation hotfix, I said that they should increase that up just a little bit more to maybe 50 or 55 seconds to make it feel like something that is actually like that has burst potential, if that makes sense. Like a lot of these weapons, a lot of these abilities that some of these rogues have access to, you have that burst potential. So you have like the Demon Blast. That is a physical embodiment of burst potential. You have this ability, you use it one time, it bursts, it blows up, and then it goes away. And then if you're lucky in Demolition, you'll get it back by the end of the round, but more than likely you won't. And Sigrid should very much be thought about in the same exact way as that, because what the ballistic shield does in Rogue Company, since they increase the size of the ballistic shield, makes it a force to be reckoned with if you're not prepared for it. Now, that is where I think one of the biggest issues with this actually lies. You have the ability in ranked to see, okay, these are the people that they're picking, these are who we're going to be playing against, and these are the rogues that we need to pick to be able to counterplay this situation. So if they insta-lock in a Sigrid right out of the gate, then it's nice to have either a glitch, Dema, or a Scorch to be able to run in there, use the EMPs, get rid of that ballistic shield, and be able to burn her down and get her out of the match. Whenever you're playing public matches, you don't know. So it feels like a lot of times that you kind of feel screwed over by the fact that you don't know who you're playing against. You don't know what the enemy team has until you pick all your rogues, you drop in, and you hope for the best. Yes, that is a good way to go in there and actually learn different tactics on playing around some of these rogues and not use, counters for everything. But I feel like that there's respawn modes that replicate that perfectly, whereas in Demolition, it is very important to have as much information as you can get going into that match so that you can actually prepare for it, especially since Gadget Mastery doesn't exist. If Gadget Mastery was something that existed in the game and you could swap out, let's say we swapped out a stem for an EMP, like on Dallas, for example, then I think that would shake the meta up, and it would probably shake it up in a major way, and that's a whole different topic in and of itself. But what I'm saying, though, is like whenever you're dropping into public matches, you don't know who you're playing against, so you can't counterpick for that. With the ballistic shield, I feel like they could have increased it up to 50 to 55 seconds. But I do feel like that, with the potential that Sigrid has just when she has the shield out, I feel like that it is more balanced than it was before, because in Demolition matches, the Sigrid would pull it out, do the initial push, the enemy team would plant the bomb, the shield would go away, they would set up, you would try to rotate into them, and by the time you rotated back into them, she would have the shield back and ready to just defend the bomb like crazy. Use that shield cooldown as your jump off potential in order to do a retake with it, and that makes absolute sense, and I know a lot of people do that, but it also feels like that burst feeling of it. It's such a powerful thing in the game if you know what you're doing and if you know how to use the Sigrid shield effectively, that you can just wreck everybody. You can get into positions where you can defuse the bomb without taking any damage. You can get into positions where you push a site without taking any damage. And with the gadget cooldown system now introduced into the game, if they use their Molotov early, or if they use other gadgets early, in that round, and Sigrid is aware of what they could potentially have whenever they go into the match, and they wait for a lot of that stuff to be expended before they pull the shield out, she feels very much like a force to be reckoned with. And you have to rely on some abilities, and you also have to rely on good flanks and good counterplay in order to be able to bring that Sigrid down. But if you're playing against a well-oiled machine, like a team that's very, very well coordinated, then it feels all for naught. And so I do feel like Sigrid is a little bit more balanced balanced than she was before, but I do feel like they could increase that just a little bit more so that whenever you are playing demolition, you do get the shield back possibly towards the end of a demolition match round if you are playing with it accurately, or possibly increase it and give her access to energize. So Sigrid has energized at a epic level, which gives it 20% charge back. It recharges 20% faster. So possibly increasing that up to maybe the legendary energize and maybe dropping life drain down to an epic level would probably balance her out a little bit more and increase that cooldown from maybe 45 seconds, maybe up to 60 seconds. So if you put energize at a legendary level on Sigrid, you increase the cooldown to 60 seconds. That puts it at that 45-second, optimal cooldown time, but you have to invest a substantial amount of money in order to get that shield back a little bit faster. It's kind of like whenever you're playing with Saint. Do you invest in the heal perks right out of the gate and just forego a weapon, or do you invest in a weapon, have the ability to defend yourself a little bit better, and then based off of how you do in the match, you can hopefully buy some of those heal perks. So I think that if they did that change to it, if they increased it to 60 seconds, if they gave her legendary energized, if they dropped life drain down to an epic level, they just swapped those two perks around, they made you invest your money into being able to get that shield back, I think that that would feel a ton better. I think that that would make her much more balanced. It would make you as a player that's playing with Sigrid have to actually go in there and think about where you want to put your smart money at to see, especially after you realize what type of team that you're playing against. Maybe you don't need the Sigrid shield. Maybe you need it more playing against this team than this team. So that's something that, you can invest the smart money there if you needed to, or you can hold that money and invest it in other perks that's a little bit better for her, like bulletproof, like life drain. You can get the gadgets, you can get the sticky, the Semtex, or you can get the adrenaline shot or whatever that you needed to get. So I think that that would be the perfect way to balance her out fully in the game all across the board in respawn modes and demolition. Just increase the cooldown for the shield to 60 seconds, give her legendary energized, and be done with it. But be sure to let me know what you think in the comments down below. Do you think that Sigrid is balanced now after the nerf, or do you think that they could do more in order to make her a little bit easier to play around, but a little bit more viable and a little bit better for smarter people to play with? Be sure to let me know. Also, be sure to check that description for links to Facebook, Discord, and Twitter. Those are the places to contact me. And if you haven't already, please be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. If you've already subscribed to the channel, then consider hitting that join button to become one of the 256 crew members. And lastly, on Thursdays from 8 until 11 p.m. and Sundays from 10 a.m. until we get tired, we will be streaming here on YouTube. So if you're interested and available, please feel free to stop by and say hello there. Thanks for watching, guys.